On tonight's program, ladies and gentlemen, we have something that's going to make you sick.
My beautiful aliens, hello, and welcome back to the Authentically Blue podcast. I am your host, Carlson. In today's episode, we have somebody who's very hardworking, very vulnerable, very open, and really is somebody who's on this world to create change. This guest is leaving something behind that without them may never exist. One of my favorite quotes, and I mention it in this podcast episode. In this episode, we have the lovely, amazing, hardworking, humble, and gorgeous Bint Aisha. She is a poet, she's an author, she is passionate about mental health, and she just finished uni. I am so proud of her. You'll understand where the proudness comes as you listen to the episode. But in this episode, we talk about her book, which will be linked down below. We also have her work. She has a blog, she has a podcast, she's even opened and started an organization. All of this will be talked about in the podcast. We also go on different tangents. So for one, we talk about the importance of people in positions of power, in this instance, teachers, and the effects they can have on kids. Long-lasting effects. We also talk about the first time she had a panic attack, which was horrible and very scary, but I'm really grateful she talked about that out loud. We talk about a bunch of crazy, insane things. Like, this episode was it was true to the Authentically Blue brand, and I'm grateful that she came on the podcast. Without further ado, I do notice that the people who I attract in my life are obsessed with a few things, but now there's one more thing officially on the list. People are obsessed with creativity, like they're very creative people. I like to think I'm creative too. We also have people who are obsessed with, what was the other one? Creativity, and then we have art. Yeah, people who really, they're very artistic, which is creative, I suppose. And now we have biking on the list. Can you make it make sense? Because I have a huge fear of bikes. I've talked about this a bunch on the podcast, but if you're new here, that is a thing. But Bint Aisha has been taking biking classes, and it's so fascinating to me. Anyway, enjoy the episode, my beautiful aliens, and I will catch you next week for that episode. I hope you have a lovely time till then. Bye.
The fact that you have... Is this blue written here?
I know, everyone keeps saying it's like Authentically Blue.
I know, I'm about to ask.
I didn't even realize it until I interviewed a friend of mine again for the podcast, and she was like, wait, how did you get blue again? And I was like, it's just synchronicity.
Yeah.
Hello, my beautiful aliens, and welcome back. Or welcome if you're new here to the Authentically Blue podcast. I am your host, Carlson, and I am with...
Bint Aisha. Okay, drums. Bint Aisha.
Yep. We are doing this episode again because technology.
Gosh,
but thank you for being here.
Oh my god. And the fact that the other one we did it so well, and I'm like,
I know.
Technology, you.
I know, and we didn't even know each other, but now we know each other. We're friends, literally.
Oh my god.
What do you do for a living? Do you want to tell the listeners?
Well, I wear the cape of jack of all trades, but currently I'm a student. I went back to finish the degree that nearly finished me. But I'm an author, a poet. Mm-hmm. I have my own organization called Kike, or an initiative, yet to be an organization. I am basically interested in the space of mental health. I'm big on mental health because I know what it feels to have your mental health messed up. And I would never ever want someone to go through that. And generally, I am just a student at the moment. Yeah, I run a couple of things, but for now, the thing that takes up my space is bikes, studies, and books. Yeah, those are the three things. And poetry event, of course.
Yeah, she's going to be on stage right after this, you guys. I'm so happy I get to see her perform live before I leave.
Way to put the pressure on my chest, but okay.
Oh, hell no. It's going to be fabulous.
It's going to be fantastic.
I'll try and record it and post it for you guys.
Amen. Okay.
Do you want to tell the listeners, I usually like to ask, when you were 7 years old or 9-year-old, who were you then? What qualities did you have? because they try and link it to the you that you are now. Do you have similar passions? Have you changed completely? Tell us a bit about that.
I'd say 7-year-old me was a dark kid. Gosh. Yeah, and it's crazy because every time I think about childhood, I think about the fact that I was a sad kid, a sad and lonely kid. And I don't know how to describe it to you or tell you why, or I can't give you the details, but all I can tell you is I didn't know who I was. There's no way a child at that age would know who they are anyway, but to some extent, the kids you will meet at that age now, and you'd be shocked at how amazing they know themselves,
iPad babies.
Yeah. Forget iPad babies. They're babies who come out and they know what they want in life.
Really?
They're already from yeah. They're very good on no, I don't want that. Thanks. Very, very particular with that. But then I didn't know. I think, especially in the age of 9, I'd say I was depressed. But I didn't know it then, because I remember the bouts of sadness, the bouts of anger, I didn't understand the emotions then, but now I do. The feeling like you're alien because you feel so sad that you can't see life the same as other people. But then now, as a grown-up, having to look back at that and having the small tiffs with our mothers, of course, daughters and mothers, that is something that we can never understand. But those tiffs kind of really put me at a dark place. Childhood, yeah. And parents necessarily don't realize how bad their words can be. They just speak and forget it. They speak and forget it, and you carry it for 20 years, and then later on you're like, the audacity, woman! How can you say something so recklessly and forget about it?
They usually say, words, sticks and stones can't break my bones.
Yeah,
but I don't
words do break
words
bones.
Really do. It has an impact even if you don't realize it in the moment.
I was very shy, but my father, God bless that man wherever he is and will always be the biggest blessing Allah has offered me, genuinely, because he loved me purely. I didn't, even the times I was giving up on myself, my father would find ways to just encourage me, even though he didn't use words, And for me, I'd say that, and also cartoons, animations and cartoons, they were the most happiest things I experienced during childhood, And even growing up, even now, I have Saturday cartoons.
Baby.
It takes me back to my child. Like that happiness I had when I used to watch cartoons when I was young. So every Saturday morning, I try as much as I can to watch cartoons to get that excitement. The excitement we used to have when we go to Cartoon Networks, Nickelodeon,
Disney. Can you believe they're stopping Nickelodeon?
Oh God!
Why?
Beats me, but that I think now the child then would look at me and be so happy.
Proud of you.
Very proud.
And that's beautiful to hear, and I'm glad you know that. Because you are doing amazing things. Yeah.
And it has taken me 5 years to finally accept that part, lock into the age where you know your worth, you know you're an amazing person, you know your capabilities, you know your gift, and God has gifted you no matter the pain it has brought it with. So that I'd say the kid then would look at me now and say, oh my God, I'm clapping for you, I'm cheering you on. Yeah.
Looking at you and hearing you just say that right now, you made me think of a quote that I have on my Instagram bio, which is, bring into this world what without you may never exist. And you embody that quote so beautifully, because you are so passionate about what you do and you give it your all without caring about other people, really thinking of your creativity, which you are filled with, and may you continue to be so.
Oh God.
I love it, and I'm happy to collaborate with you and see you do your thing.
Gosh, yes, thanks. I'm flipping my hair for the guys who are at home.
Flipping the hijab.
Yeah. No, flipping imaginary hair. Listen, let's go with the script. It's hair.
It's hair.
You're not here to see it, are you?
love that so much. So you have written a book, which we just saw. Do you want to tell them where we are? I didn't even tell them.
We are at a place called Bazaar, Bazaar Media Lab.
In Nairobi?
Yes, in Nairobi. And
It's a lovely space.
I'm sorry, but if you trust me for directions, you will lose. So I'm just going to tell you it's in somewhere in Nairobi. I just don't know.
Exactly
It's in
where.
Keystone Park, Riverside.
Yes.
Riverside Drive. That's all I know.
That's all you know.
So this place, we've had I've worked with them last year for a femicide show, and I curated an entire set for women, purely on femicide, and take them through the seasons of womanhood. Because when we grow up, we are told to hate our bodies, or people make us hate our bodies.
Society for money.
Yeah. And if you don't hate your body, you are
That's
either
fucked
worshipped
up,
for
sorry.
your body.
Yeah.
It's either you hate your body and are worshipped for your body, or you hate your body and are putting pain on your body. There's never an in-between where women get to explore, women get to love their body. Women are told you're beautiful from a young age. We're seeing us, the Gen Zs and the millennials, now are the ones who are actually telling their kids, oh, you're beautiful, honey. And it's such a hard thing. So I did a book called Divine Disorder. Oh no, I did a book called Freedom first. And the reason why I did Freedom was purely to just unshackle myself from the chains that were holding me back. The chain of imposter syndrome, the chain of depression, the chain of anxiety. Because then it was the time I was learning all these things about myself that I never knew I had. And now your life totally changes. And there are so many things, and it was the time I was about to quit school, so why not quit it in a better way than write a book and, put the focus elsewhere.
Yes.
And I wrote a book. It didn't go well, genuinely speaking, I'd say.
First book?
Yeah, not in terms of sales though, because it sold out. We sold out an entire show. But the one thing I can say this book brought into my life that was a blessing was friends. Because it was the first book that we released unedited. Gosh, the courage I had as a woman to stand up and say, oh, I published unedited work. Oh my God.
We love
I
to see it.
cringe till this date when I remember it.
We're so proud
But
of
my
you.
friends, God bless you guys wherever you are. I love you, and I will always say I love you. Thank you so much for taking care of me in that period. I was a depressed human being, battling proper suicidal thoughts. And my friends were the life that they breathed life into me, because they were there. They helped me organize the entire thing. They helped me. They were there with affirmations, cooking me meals to keep me alive, making sure I was alive.
That's so beautiful.
And reminding me and affirming me and showing me and advertising and making sure the show was sold out. We got to the point where we had, in a show where we did 50 seats, 60 were sold. And we did a show where I genuinely feel when you talk about trauma and people react instantly, you've triggered enough to create the process of healing to start. And we started a lot of conversation, about trauma and the things that we battle. Because Freedom essentially was supposed to just bring out the raw things that are happening in society, that I've experienced, that my ladies have experienced, that people around me have experienced. And then I took a 2-year break, and in those 2-year break, a lot happened. And I think that's the awakening I needed. The biggest awakening, Not break from uni. Forget uni. Uni is like trash. Sorry to say.
You mean
if you love uni, I have no problem with you. But generally, unis in Kenya are trash. And it was the time I've been diagnosed with depression. The school has kicked me out, and I have nowhere to go. Me and my family, we are estranged. And it took me 7 months. I got a job, but getting a job does not fix your life.
No.
It just gives you a paycheck, but you're not okay. You're still the same person. It does not change your life. I feel like people lie to us. They tell you, you know what, get a job, it's gonna be okay. No, it's not. You fixed your finances. What about your mental? What about your health? What about your physical? What your mental is the basic core that carries everything with you. So if your mental health is trash, there's no way money is gonna solve it. It's just gonna give you an escape.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I took a break, and in those 2 years I got to learn more about myself, got to appreciate. I did wonders in the customer service industry. I loved it. I grew into a career I didn't know I could go into. I knew from young this is something I want to explore.
What is that?
Customer service and communications.
Yeah.
Anything communication, anything journalism, all fields of communication.
You enjoy?
Yeah. But customer service was something.
You were pleasantly surprised.
Yes, pleasantly surprised of how much I love it.
Yeah.
But nobody talks about the toxicity it carries with
Really?
it, because it
Is
drains
with
you.
the fans,
You're talking to
customers.
more than 100 people, and half of these people will curse you out, will curse your ancestors, will curse your families, will curse your womb, will
And
curse
wish you dead.
Yeah.
Bruh.
And
That's wild.
And I was dealing with Somali customers because I was a Somali speaker.
Oh hell no.
And I'm not bashing our people, but we go from 0 to 100 real quick. And you're like
should have
wondering,
seen her eyes.
I'm like, oh my god, hold up, I'm scared, sir. So
I hear you, I'm listening.
and you're
I
already
promise.
dealing with politics in the office. You're already dealing with different co-workers who are different.
Yeah.
And you're a young woman who's exploring
Navigating.
You're navigating. You can. And you're ready. And one of the things people never tell you is that customer service is demanding. You just see these people smiling the entire day.
Oh, no.
But no, darling, it's draining them. We're just smiling because that's what we're supposed to be doing. Because if we were to do what we want to do, we'll bash you.
You know what? Side note: there's a K-drama I'm watching right now. On Netflix. It's like an aeroplane one. Let me see if I can find it quickly. And basically this girl has been kicked out of jobs for being violent and not smiling and like the aggression. And you're reminding me of that. You're like, if we did that way, we would be fired.
Yeah. But I feel like I loved it because it taught me a lot about communication.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things it taught me was life kindness. I think speaking kindness into others, because sometimes I would deal with the elderly and being patient with them and talking to them nicely. Those things were the things that made me understand that I need to change who I am, and it put me in a point of I need to heal. Now I was going on more walks. I developed a love for walking.
Oh, I love that. That was me during 2020 as well.
Even when I was back in uni, there's places we'd go for walks, yeah?
Oh.
But then now, I'm going to work walking. I'm coming back. I'm going for poetry shows after work. But then, nobody schedules you for the amount of time your friends and you would have different schedules, clashing schedules. You're coming back from work at 11 p.m. Who's up at that time to go out? Nobody. You're going to work so early in the morning. Who's up at that time to walk you to work? You're alone, girl. And the times you're working, they're off. And the times I'm working, they're off. You're like, and when I'm off, they're working. You're like, guys. But
we need to get this thing together.
So, a friend of mine approached me who had a publishing company, which if I were, in all honesty, about to say something, I'd curse him out so bad right now. But the past is a past.
Yes.
I'm trying to be a good human. If not, yeah. But he asked me, hey, why don't you just publish another book? But this time, just take freedom and let's remove things you don't want to be there, the things you've outgrown, and add things that feel okay right now.
Is that divine?
Yeah. So polished it, sent it out, and we published it. And it was the best thing. The best thing I could have ever done. Genuinely speaking, because people are texting me, telling me, and here's the thing, everybody keeps asking me, hey, why are you not marketing your book enough? I'm like, nah, I wanted to touch you. You'll do the marketing for me. I'm not interested. It feels like it's a personal book. So if after every chapter, there are 3 chapters.
Yeah.
After every chapter, there's a piece where you write your feelings of how the chapter.
Okay.
Because so that everyone is like, this is so personal for me. I don't even think I want to share with anybody because they're going to see the notes in my book. I'm like, exactly, that's why I put it there. Your book has to be personal to you because it triggers different parts of you. What it triggers in you cannot trigger someone else.
No.
And mental health being the biggest
Aspect.
of my life, it gave me different conversations with different people, different with bipolar, people with schizophrenia.
I was going to ask you because that one,
Yeah.
I know someone who is schizophrenic.
People with depression, anxiety, walking up to me and telling me, oh my God, I felt seen,
beautiful.
I felt heard. People who have had friendship breakups, who've dealt with grief, people who've been raped, people who've gone through abusive relationships. All of them walking up to me and saying, thank you.
Yeah.
I've cried. I have cried. But thank you. This was necessary for me.
I needed this to heal,
Yeah.
to move forward.
And for me, that's the biggest. I feel like to an author, that's the biggest thing. No matter no matter how horrible your writing is, or how unedited it is, if someone can say, I cried, it took me back to a time I have been denying, or it's put me in a position where I'm reevaluating my life, that's enough. And right now, where I am busy preaching about kindness to yourself and kindness to others, I'm like, it does not hurt. It does not hurt at all.
I love that. That is so beautiful.
So I'll leave it at that. Like if I continue talking, I'm a Japanese.
No, we love yappers. I literally recorded an episode today and I was yapping all the way through. Before I touch on what you just said, I was going to say the name of the K-drama is Where the Stars Land. So if you want to, I'll text it to you. You need to go watch it.
Please, you don't even have to ask. I'm going to watch it.
And I think it's very beautiful what you said about your process on starting this book and growing and finding deeper parts of yourself and what you've grown and come to know. Something else that you touched on that I'm very passionate about is mental health. We talk about that a lot on the podcast. And you talked about a time where you had depression and you were suicidal.
Yeah.
I've done an episode on suicidal ideation. I'll link it down below for the people. But I think it's very beautiful how open you are, especially in a society and culture that is very closed off. I don't want to ask you specifically what gives you the courage, but at what stage? Or is it you speaking out about this? Did that give you the courage to move forward with your life? Like, how has it been publicly on your social media, on your blog? You have a beautiful blog. We're going to go on that in a minute. I love your writing. To your poetry, to just being out there as a woman.
I tell people, I don't live for them. I live for self.
Somali woman, might I add, because there's that connotation.
Yeah, a lot of people are, oh my God, you're Somali. Yeah, so I feel like as a human being, I'm living and breathing as me. So what fits me, I usually tell people, it doesn't have to fit you, but it's me. If you don't accept it, keep it on your side of the corner, I'll keep it to mine. But with all of that happening, I remember when I left high school, how horrible my high school was. I cried when I was leaving that gate, and I promised myself I would never ever want a kid to feel as bad as I felt going through high school and going through uni, as confused as I was. So I promised myself I'd do everything possible, to make a kid feel loved, feel seen, feel heard, feel like they belong and they're worthy. They don't hate their body, they don't hate the way they talk, they're not trying to be anyone else but themselves. And coming to uni, I wanted to reassure kids that, yeah, I know you feel clueless now, but give it some time. You don't have to have it figured out. You don't have to have a Prado now. You don't have to have a bike. You don't have to have, it's okay to be in whatever financial situation, physical situation, that time, that period, it's okay. So for me, it's my experiences in it. I know what dark days look like. So I tell myself, I never want another human being to feel that. That's my motivation.
Especially a young, vulnerable human
Exactly. That's my motivation. That's my courage. That's my... When people say, how do you live through it? I say, I look at where I'm from and I look at where I am mentally. I'm like, nah, nobody has to go through that. Nobody has to go through the part where you're begging God, yo, man, just take me. I don't want a kid to go through that. And that's a promise I made myself like 7 years ago now, 8 years ago now.
We're still young.
Yeah,
we're not
we're
old,
still
don't
young,
worry.
yeah.
You're looking at me like that
No,
was
no,
so.
no. I'm like, I'm
school
calculating.
buses pass by.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. But here's the thing. I went through all that to make sure no kid has. That's
You
what
went through
keeps me
that, so
going.
no other kid can go through that.
Yeah. I don't want any kid to go through that. Nor do I feel the need to pressurize a kid to be something they're not. Nor do I feel the need to be something I am not. We all happen to go through that life. There's always...
100%.
Here's the thing. Psychologically speaking, we have to go through that part.
It's not a bike.
Sorry, I know.
It's not a bike, it's a car.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I
We
feel
had to
like-
pause
I
it
feel
for a
like
minute.
We should have switched sides. Miss Girlie
So that I
here
can
is
see.
addicted to bikes. And you know what? Personally, I support you with whatever you do, but I met up with someone yesterday. Disclaimer, it was a date, and the guy's into bikes, and I was just like, sorry.
This
You
doesn't look
know,
like something I wanted
I
to
want to
do.
support you guys through everything. My people I love, like Kini bikes. I saw 2 horrible bike accidents as a kid, and I cannot get over it. I'd rather be late. That's my favorite car. You see that Ranger?
Ooh,
Yes.
girl.
See, that with speed we can do. See, we're protected. Anyway, we love you. We love what you love.
Nah.
We're supporting you and wishing you well. Life is too short to not do what you want to do.
And no, here's the thing. I keep telling myself it's only that I haven't gotten enough money to get the bike.
The money's
Darling.
coming. Manifesting.
I know.
From my mouth to God's ears.
Because I lost, if you're calculating how much I lost last year to robbery was 110. And then to miss, if I had done the event well, I wouldn't have lost 100,000. So that's 200,000 plus. I should have my own bike by now. But then I keep telling myself, nah, I can't keep reliving the past, yeah? But
The bikes are coming. The bike is coming.
God.
Make it? Okay. Let me try and wrap it. So last time we did the podcast, you talked about how you had a bad experience with a teacher. And I think that's why you are passionate about doing... I think that's why you're
Education, yeah.
about doing education.
Yeah, no,
Mental
not
health.
education. Forget mental health, but I'm really passionate about. I'm very, very passionate about educators and education policies and teachers, specifically teachers, because they affect the kids a lot. So back in, I think I was in Form 4. I had one of the. I think to this day, I have never felt as horrible as that day. So there's this teacher and she was teaching me Kiswahili. First of all, I hope thunder strikes you, woman. I'm still not over that because that was a horrible thing to tell a kid. I still hold it over myself.
Guy,
It still comes
that's
as
messed up.
yeah, and I still feel like a
You
failure.
look so calm when you say
No.
something so violent, and that's why I burst out laughing because
Healing does good.
I
Okay.
was not ready for that. But it's fine. It's
So,
fine. Anything to heal.
Basically, it's, back when we were in high school, we used to have staff rooms, and staff rooms had different departments. So this one was the Swahili and English department, I think. I'm going in there. This board next to her that has student results, and I think the last one had a C minus or a D plus, and she pointed to that and said like, I don't even think in your KCSE you'd be able to get that. Oh my god,
You're not serious.
for real.
That's fucked up.
Straight up to my face. And I remember that day I could feel the time freezing, and everything my mother had said negative about success, it came to my head there and then. Just like I was watching a film and I'm dying. If you know how when you're dying in anime, you see all the things you've done in your life coming to you. That's exactly what I'm like, am I dying, God? And my chest was tightening, and it was extremely painful. You're trying to hit it to get it like to open, there's nothing, you're crying. Because why would you say such a thing to a kid who has done nothing to you? Where did it come from? Yeah.
Period.
To
No
any
matter
kid.
how
No matter,
disobedient.
yeah. Why would you say such a thing?
That's messy.
And I remember just going into another staff room, and thank God there was no teacher. I fell down, and my vision there were dots in my vision, and I was trying to just figure out, is it death? I didn't know what panic attack is, darling. I didn't know.
You were figuring it out.
So me, I'm like, God, you're taking me now. Oh my God, yay!
I need a video for the podcast. This is hilarious. The way I'm trying to keep a straight face because they're hearing my reaction. They're not seeing my face.
Yeah, but genuinely speaking, there's this.
Shocked.
I was shocked at the same time, happy, kidogo. If I'm being honest with you, there's no need to lie. Are you going to do anything to me? No, I'm being honest. There's that bit of me saying, "Oh my God, yay! Finally! Oh, you're listening to me, sir. Thanks." I know I shouldn't call God sir, but thank you. He's taken me through a lot of seasons right now. I'm mostly grateful to him that I'm here.
Yeah.
So
I think it's beautiful you managed to maneuver that and find your way, and you use that to fuel your passion for other people.
because I said I never want a kid. Because man, she took me down. I didn't study. I was like, they've already said I'm gonna fail. You know?
Yeah.
Words are
Why
horrible.
would someone do that?
My mom genuinely never spoke good when it comes to me and studies and me and passing, even in primary. I'd remember her telling me, you'd go to these local schools, you're a stupid man. And I carry those until date. It's very hard to untangle yourself from those things. And they don't really see how bad these words are until we are second guessing everything in our life. Even a small win, we can never celebrate it fully because you're like, this is not good enough. You know?
You're questioning moments and things.
Yeah, so I'd say that woman, she messed me up real good with those words. I cannot undo what she did, but I'm glad she did because it put me at a realization that if she didn't say that to me, she would have said to another kid.
But also, it's like you didn't deserve that.
No kid deserves that.
No kid whatsoever.
Yeah.
So you or another kid at all. But I'm glad you found your strength. Let's just pause for a second. Okay, now I'm going to ask you about... I'll edit this part out.
Back, ladies and gentlemen.
We have a few more questions left. Do you want to tell the people what you do, your creative endeavors? You have a blog, you have a podcast, and you have a book. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. Let me tell you how I started a podcast. I had a problem telling my friends about things that were going on in my life or sharing. So you know what I did? I opened a podcast and
like
I shared. Yeah. Oh my God, and it was full of tears. At first I was like, you know what? This should be a diary for people with unshared feelings. And it was called Freedom. Again, people are asking me, why is it called Freedom? I was like, yeah, because when we started it, essentially, what we were doing is just making it open for people who don't know how to share, people who want honest podcasts that will make them laugh, cry, and feel all the things and affirm them about life, you know? We can't always be talking about sports and, you know, stories of people. Sometimes people need to be affirmed in their... So I was like, why not? And I was having trouble talking, because I used to tell people after I've gone through something, and I'd laugh about it, and they'd be like, what's wrong with you, girl? Are you okay in the head? And I'm like, so it was like an assignment to myself as a healing. And my blog, oh my God, my blog. I opened it 5 years ago. Actually, we just hit a 10K view last week.
Yes, I was like, congratulations.
I am here to celebrate it.
I know the hard work of trying to get people to...
I blog at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I post it, and people are like, what are you doing up in the morning at 3 a.m.? Are you okay? Basically, my blog is about poetry, about all the things that we bottle up, that we don't talk about, the hard parts, the difficult parts of life, you know? Because you can never appreciate the good things in life if you haven't gone through the bad things. Sadly, as that sounds, it sounds crazy, I know. But then, unless someone has been unkind to you, you can never know what the value of kindness is.
That's true.
Yeah. So, and I have a book,
Freedom,
Freedom,
and
Divine Disorder. Freedom is out of the market. I haven't reproduced it. I'm too scared to put it back. For Divine Disorder, I have 100 copies in my house, just laying around.
Ooh,
that I can,
aliens. If you're listening,
please order up.
I'll leave like a code, so if they come to our website,
Yes,
they
please.
can,
And I have bookmarks as well, bookmarks that are supposed to make people feel a bit better about themselves. One, it says, "My love, you're beautiful. My love, you're magnificent." The other one says, "Even if you were to go far away from me," something of that sort, "I would still love you as artists." And the other one is, "Live, love, and laugh."
I like that one.
And one more page.
Nice.
So that
One
is,
more page, like
yeah,
continue. That's beautiful.
to give people the idea of just continue just one more page, because we're going through a lot, darling, and the reading culture has gone down drastically, and I feel like it's necessary now to live just one more day, one more page, one more sentence, just one more of whatever it is you're doing. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
With so much power.
Yeah.
I find that beautiful.
So yeah,
We'll definitely do a part 2
Yes.
and dive in deeper.
yes, please, I'm in for it.
Thank
I'm a
you.
yapper. So.
Congratulations. I can't see you on stage.
Thank you.